Thank you for tuning into Wowhead Weekly number 120. How are we at 120, Perk? We have a bunch to talk about today. Of course, we have 7.25 right around the corner, stuff going on live servers, as well as Destiny 2 news, random that we're talking about on this show. But before we get into that, I'd like to introduce my lovely co-host, Wowhead site manager, Perculia.
Hey everyone, I'm really interested in talking about this Destiny news, and we have a lot of cool community stuff going on, including the ability to gift Wowhead Premium now.
Yeah.
So that is about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're also, the 725 PTR news is, there's still some big stuff, but it feels like it's winding down, like we're moving into more of a polish phase. So that's interesting too.
Yeah. I totally agree, but
yeah.
let's talk about Destiny later. I think first we should talk a little bit about 7.25 PTR because honestly there's not too much to talk about.
Right.
Last week we talked a little bit about the legendary rings that were coming in 7.2.5 that are very reminiscent of Diablo type rings, and there is currently one for every spec, correct?
Yeah, so last week we data mined maybe like 4 of them, and this week we data mined the rest, and the ring gives you one of the talents based on your specialization, or if you're a rogue, you just get bigger. You can check all those out on Wowhead now. And also in addition, legendaries were added for every healer specialization. So, you know, like Resto Druid, and then we've got Paladin and Priest and Shaman. So, that's all interesting as well. I don't think you can buy these on the PTR to test them, but maybe they'll be up soon because tier 20 gear and all the other legendaries are up on the PTR to test.
Yeah, speaking of things on the PTR to test, transition. Do you want to talk a little bit about the Chromie scenario?
Yeah, so like, I don't know if we need a spoiler tag for this because I feel the title
I'll put a
is
spoiler tag up. Spoiler tag is up.
Okay. All right, so there is a new Chromie scenario in 725 Hearted, but the title makes people a little worried because it's called The Deaths of Chromie. And basically, it's this kind of fun setup where Chromie is attacked across all the time ways, a time scenario to disrupt all the threats, and as you keep disrupting some threats, you can skip some steps in later attempts, so you know, it's kind of strategic about like the order in which you do things and like how fast you fly from place to place and what speed buffs you take, stuff like that. But we don't actually learn anything big about lore, like no major lore character drops any information, like Chromie is alive and well at the end. So the title is a bit misleading, but that's the name of the scenario. And if it was serious, I don't think Blizzard would be announcing like, oh, Deaths of Chromie is now up, go do it, because she's not actually dead. So this is actually this is a pretty cool scenario though, and I think for quests in the future because Chromie, you gain rep with Chromie in this scenario, and you can talent her similar to Diablo followers or the Order Advancement UI based on how much reputation you have, and you can get really overpowered perks like faster movement speed, or like Chromie will act as a healer if you're a tank, or vice versa. Your gear scales up, you become level 112, which I think addresses a lot of the complaints about the Withered training scenario. You know, it's like, oh, I need like better gear, or I'm the wrong, you know, spec for this challenge. But with a Chromie scenario, you can be any spec you want basically, and she'll complement you. And there are also these cool buffs called Sands of Time, which can add time to the scenario, like give you faster run speed, even knock out one of the actual threats in the area, which saves you a lot of time. So if you do all this in the time limit, you get a cool transmog set, which is a bronze colored version of some Wrath and Cataclysm gear. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. We filmed all 8 areas up on Wowhead. You do things like protect the dragon shrines. You go back to Culling of Stratholme, which I thought that one was the most touching because the whole little quest takes place right before the Wrath dungeon like cutscene starts, where like Arthas strikes down one of the Stratholme residents, and like you just sort of like help the residents going about their daily life, and like then they're all terrified and trying to fight back. So I thought that one was pretty touching. But there's also Well of Eternity. There is Mount Hyjal in Firelands, all the dragon shrines, and then there's also the battle for Anderhal. So I think that's really cool, and I think it opens up a lot of potential where maybe more quests have replayability if you can talent, more NPCs in the future. There's character level scaling. You can be any level in this scenario. And the Sands of Time gives it a lot of variations and abilities to keep it interesting. So it's not just like, okay, I beat it, now I'm done. You can, try with different buffs. So
well, it also seems like we talked about, like at BlizzCon, possibly having more solo player content, but it was also like addressed right on the nose that maybe the Withered wasn't the best that they could do as far as solo content. So with all of the variations and stuff, it seems like they've actually really taken into consideration that not everybody plays like a DPS class.
Yeah. So, like they're definitely, the tier 2 one is definitely like, oh, Chromie is a tank and deals more threat, and there's a healer one as well for her. So it all seemed pretty fun, and I also kind of like how Chromie has the order advancement UI. I think it's a good example of Blizzard trying to take tech and move it across different types of content. So first it was this class whole thing, and now it's used in a really different situation, and order advancements are kind of similar to some garrison types of talents. So it's just sort of interesting from like a game design perspective to see how stuff gets reused to create new things.
Oh, for sure. And it's one of those things where we talk about different things like, oh, they should do this or they should do that every week, but neither of us are game developers, so it's always interesting to see how those ideas are actually implemented into the game as opposed to just, oh, they should do this or they should do that. I mean, I feel like from what I've seen of the Chromie scenario, it feels like they really want to have a solo content kind of option, and, they've built off of the Withered training and gone from there, but yeah.
I also like how gear isn't really meaningful. I mean, I guess if you have the right legendary procs, that helps, but your character is 112 and your gear is scaled up to 1,000. And I think that might be interesting if you view it in the context of daily quests. It's like, oh, suppose you're doing quests in an area and your gear didn't matter, but you got stronger based on like what your companion was doing. So if you, really cared about this reputation, your companion would have more abilities and help you do the quest faster than, save time in the long run. So I think it's cool. I'm curious to see if they do more stuff like this in 7.3 or their next expansion.
Yeah, I'm excited as well, because I just like to see, I mean, even a good example is like in Warlords of Draenor, we had garrisons, and granted, garrisons were not the most popular feature to ever be, implemented into World of Warcraft, but the technology that they used in garrisons is what we have in our order halls now, and I think order halls work pretty well now, and you're not stuck in your order hall. You pop in there a few times a day, you do your missions, but for the most part, you're in Dalaran or you're out in the world doing things. So I feel like, maybe the Withered training was the first incarnation of something, and it didn't really work perfectly in all facets of the game.
Yeah, but good lessons learned. Exactly. I think it's cool they tried something like.
I agree. I would rather have them try something new and have it not be great than have them just kind of stagnate and keep the same stuff over and over again. So
yeah. Before we move on to live news,
I was gonna say that's all we got for 725 today. It was a slow PTR week, which is fine by perk, I'm sure.
Yeah. So we have a lot of live news, but just before we move on to the live news, Sass wants me to remind everyone that our Twitch giveaway today is for 6 months of Wowhead Premium, and the keyword is WH Premium, one word.
WH Premium.
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
So we have all this live and community news. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as far as live news, of course, there was a new quest on the Broken Shore, which I feel like I know a lot of people are like, oh, these are boring, or these are that, or this, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I feel like there's been so much story in Legion that I'm not really mad about the fact that the Broken Shore quests are very cut and dry. Go do this, come back and get this kind of thing. And this week it was called Relieved of Their Valuables, which was to go around and find chests on the Broken Shore.
Right. So it's a little tougher than the other ones because, there are a finite number of chests and everyone wants them. So I actually haven't gotten any chests yet, but maybe with the Mage Tower up, there'll be more chests and that will be exciting. But you get your 1500 rep and you also get a decent AP token for finishing that. And I believe we've data mined that the quest for next week is going to be to kill 5 rares. So, another one of those cut and dry ones. I think it would be interesting if Blizzard had decided to pace out the cut and dry ones with the story quests as they were planning on doing. but I do see the merit in having the cut and dry ones so you actually are prompted to do the different things on the Broken Shore and, try out the and see if you like it or not. And it's only one quest. It's just,
well, that's the thing.
I think they just, marketed it in a weird way.
Yeah, I agree. And like, I feel like since the introduction of World Quest, I'm a little more used to the cut and dryness of everything, because World Quest really offer very little. They're like, go do the thing.
Right.
Rarely is there much more to it than that. So I guess I'm just not nearly as upset about it as some people are. But, I mean, especially after the Suramar quest, which were so in-depth. It comes to a point with Blizzard where I feel like they can't win. If it's too story-focused, people are like, this is too much. I've heard enough. I get it. If it's not story enough, they're bored. So it's just, I think having at least the mixture is better than having everything be the same. But I have not done it yet.
I think it would have been cooler if Blizzard was like, okay, so you like looted the treasure chest, now you have the armaments to kill the elites, and like now you can break into Cathedral of Eternal Night and do the dungeon. I think that would have, just rearranged the quest to make it feel like a story arc more.
I definitely feel like there should have been more in general to get people to do Cathedral of Eternal Night.
Yeah,
because I just don't feel like
especially because they had a nerf.
They
had a nerf, like this was not good with some of the Mythic Plus combinations, and it's trickier than the other dungeons.
Yeah,
so
I think that's somewhere they should have focused a little more. But I don't know. I haven't done mine yet this week. I'm all caught up. This is the only week I have left to do. But I've had so much on my plate, man. Did I tell you I got Pepe?
Yes, I saw Pepe. I'm very excited.
I got Pepe, and then I spent 3 hours running around Dalaran to find Traveler Pepe because he was the only one I didn't have. So that's what I've done in my WoW life this week. Is I have all the Pepe disguises and the Pepe whistle now. And since I've
been prestiging a lot.
It was a good.
That's my thing.
It was a good week. Well, I leveled my hunter to 100 now, or 110 now that I have flying. That's so fast. Oh my god! Yeah. And you catch up so quickly too, because my main, her artifact knowledge level is really high, so I was able to get my hunter 30 immediately, like as soon as I leveled. So I did like 2 world quests, and I'm like, ridiculous. So right now I'm just waiting on, I have to get caught up on the hunter quest line so that I can unlock the new empowered artifact weapon or whatever. But I was shocked at how quickly you can catch up. And then you go to the Broken Shore, you can get 880s. It's nuts. The catch up is real right now. So that's what I've been doing, but I will get that done over the weekend, hopefully. Also, another thing I would like to get done, transition, is I want to try the new PvP brawl, the Deep Wind Dunk.
All right.
Have you done it?
So I was a big fan. I did it before the hotfixes, and I think I'm going to try it again because I didn't have a ton of fun with it, but I want to give another chance because I really liked Warsong Gulch. Like my Demon Hunter got from neutral to exalted with Warsong Gulch just from the scramble brawl.
Yeah, the Warsong Gulch one was really fun.
That was amazing. So basically, there are 3 areas in Deepwind Gorge, and they've been transformed into basketballs. And someone gets the basketball and runs to the enemy base and slams it, and you get points. And it was a cool idea, but initially it was kind of slow paced and not really great for honor. And it could go on indefinitely. So like a lot of teams are just like, oh, we're behind. Like this game is going on. Like, let's just not do anything and lose.
Yeah, that sounds like the thing that people would do.
So the games now last 15 minutes. You get 100 points per dunk, and it's 1,500 points total. And now you get 5 points for killing a player. So that should help move the speed of the games along as well.
Gotcha.
Deepwind Gorge was added in Mist of Pandaria. I think it was the last battleground added. And it has its own set of achievements, and completing it gives you the Gorgeous title. So, it's a tough meta, but it's a cool title. And I definitely want to try it because I'm like 5 honor tiers away from the PvP unicorn.
Oh my god, that's so exciting.
I know, so maybe I can get that after today's show. And sort of transition, Blizzard also revealed the order of the Season 4 Prestige Awards, including a new mount, pet, and title. So, there's a lot of ranks, and you just want to get a little bit done each day, especially because those artifact appearances, Blizzard has stated that maybe if you don't get the appearances during Legion, you can't use them for transmog in the future. So I want to make sure I, get all my PvP
I know,
artifacts.
my favorite artifact appearance for Shamans is like the Prestige 9 or whatever. It's not the first one, it's a variant of it. So you have to get like 9 prestiges or something like that. And there's no way it'll ever happen. That's so much PvP.
Yeah.
That's so much PvP, but I feel you on that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, since you will be getting pets for PvP rewards, we should transition. I'm so sorry. All these transitions are so dad jokes. But this week is the Pet Battle bonus event where you get 200 bonus experience with pets. There is a guide on Wowhead right now that teaches you how to use the pet trainer squirt to like get a ton of experience and like power level as many pets as you would like.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's also good if you're not 110 because you get experience from that pet battle too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's super nice too because there's a route. I did it on if you go to my YouTube channel, I did a video that's how to get from level 1 to 25 in 4 battles while it's Pet Battle bonus weekend. So, and you can do that on each character every day of the event. So, if you are interested in that, that's on my channel as well, which was from Wowhead. Like, it was from a bunch of Wowhead comments that I compiled together and made a video. Shocking, I know. But yeah, so that's the thing. If you're into pet battles, that is also how will that work with like Wailing Caverns, the pet battle dungeon?
Oh, so I was just suggesting that you know, if you want to, now's a good week to maybe use, you know, level up some pets so you can work on more advanced pet things like the Wailing Caverns challenge or prepare for the Dead Mine challenge in 725. Or there's this achievement called Family Familiar where you have to defeat like each pet tamer using only pets of a certain family. And it's like, you know, hunt like dozens, hundreds of pet battles. So, you know, get some of those pets leveled out of the way now. Also, if you're getting a lot of pet charms from doing all this pet stuff, you can now buy level 25 battle stones from the Dalaran shop.
All right.
So
from
that's
Brienne
cool as well.
or whatever.
Yeah, from one of I think it's not Brienne. I think it's the other one that sells.
Yeah, she's in that
all
building.
the items. But yeah, just go to the pet charms page. It will show you on Wowhead. And yeah, if you want to learn more about pets, there's lots of resources on Wowhead as well as Warcraft pets. You can like track and filter your pet collection. There are lots of great user comments on how to get and level each pet. And I think the pet trainer comments are also really valuable because they talk about like the best strat, but then you have a lot of users that, you know, don't have the perfect pet or breed, and they talk about alternate setups they use to defeat the pet. So it's really good.
Comments are so helpful for pet battles in general. Like what I do is I go and I'm like, oh, I want the reward for this pet battle. Then I go to Wowhead and I scroll through and I look at the comments, and there's always like you said, there's like the perfect team, but then they'll be like, okay, you can also swap this one out, that one out, this one out. It like will cut so much time off of the pet battle. I'm sorry I interrupted you. I did not mean to. There's a tiny bit of a delay with this new service that we're using, so sometimes like it looks like you're done and you're not. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. It's okay.
I apologize.
I'm glad we're not echoing.
Yes, there's no echo though. In the very beginning, there was a little bit of a delay. Like when you would talk, your voice was like a half a second behind, but it like caught up all at once, and it's been fine since. So that's still better than a constant echo.
Yeah, I think when this is all done, we can have this like epic review of like every
video chat program ever, because Perk and I have tried all of them. I'm not kidding. Like we're just waiting for Senpai Discord to release theirs because I know it'll be good. Because I use Discord every day anyways because my guild uses it. It's like a mix between like Reddit and like Ventrilo. That's what Discord is for me and like my guild. So I just really want them to release one because that's what I use for everything. Perk and I have like multiple chats that we talk in Discord all the time.
I know. Yeah.
Sorry, shameless Discord promotion. Sorry. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but the Mage Tower is now active on North American servers, and there are all 36 class and spec combination guides are done on Wowhead. So if you are trying to get your appearance, there is help. There's help out there for you.
Yeah, so they cover the consumables, legendaries, strats, all sorts of things. The quest pages also have really good user comment if you need like tips on a certain phase as well. This was an awesome job by Katsuki, who manages all of our guide writers, as well as, you know, all the Wowhead guide writers for writing extra stuff, for their specialization. 7.2 didn't have a lot of class changes, but we thought we still wanted to, add this in 7.2 for the guides. And if you want them to cover anything else, like I can't think of something you want them to cover, but if you want them to have, do another like in-depth class thing for the guide, let us know, and we'll consider adding it for 725.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Someone in our chat just said there's no help for a resto shaman. I agree. Which is not guide related. It's just that it's really hard. As far as we wanted to talk about this earlier, and I am proud of us for holding it off till the end, but yesterday it was announced that Destiny 2 will be coming to PC exclusively through the Blizzard app, which is the first non-Blizzard game to be offered. And what's kind of weird about it is that while Bungie makes Destiny, Activision is the publisher, and I find it very strange that that would be the first non-Blizzard game in the launcher, being that it's not really an Activision game either. I would have thought we would have seen along the likes of like Call of Duty or something before we saw. I mean, that was out and left. When someone said that, I thought they were trolling, to be totally honest with you. I was like, that really? What? So also I thought it was weird how many times Mike Morhaime called it BattleNet. Like, are they rebranding it BattleNet again, or is this just old habits die hard?
The press release is called BattleNet. Like, the title is like, Destiny is coming to BattleNet. Like, well,
yeah, I don't
know. They call it BattleNet for years, and then they just like rebranded to Blizzard, and like, you know, a month later it's BattleNet again.
They gave up again. I don't know. That's really funny. Well, what's cool about this is that because Destiny will be through the BattleNet launcher, the Blizzard app, whatever you want to call it, you will be able to use the WoW token to purchase it if that is something you would like to do. So if you save up WoW Gold, like, you can...
WoW token is the BattleNet balance, and that's the purchase.
So yeah, that's a thing that you can do, which is pretty cool. But in general...
really expensive right now because... people are trying to do that little flipping around type thing.
Well,
like, I can get Destiny for free if I, you know, spend my
while anyways.
Yeah, I don't think they ever really calmed down from the whole, you know, they can be used for BattleNet balance transition a few months ago.
No, but I think that's okay. I think that was kind of the point of allowing you to use it for your balance. And then with things like
getting a little like stale and pretty cheap for a while, and you know, supply and demand. Now
there's been stuff going on in other games that was very incentivizing. So like, you know, you have all the different events in Overwatch. I feel like every time there's an event in Overwatch, you're seeing the WoW token soar, and every time that like with HOTS 2.0, there's now all this stuff to buy in HOTS. So I feel like adding more games is only going to be better for that type of market, which is great for World of Warcraft players. So I think that's a good thing. I was very torn on the whole idea of Destiny coming to the BattleNet app just as like a thing. It's very jarring for me because I am someone who I do not play MMOs that are not made by Blizzard. Like, I guess, no, I really don't. Unless you consider like, I mean, I dabbled in Halo a little, but for the most part, like, I don't play any games, really, that Blizzard doesn't make unless they're single player or just, like, a co-op game. So something like Destiny was something I would have never even tried, but now that it'll be in the Blizzard launcher, like, it is something I will probably try. Like, so I feel like, I wonder how many people are in that situation with me, but then I also saw a lot of comments that were like, this is just a marketing scheme by Activision, like, they're just trying to piggyback off of Blizzard's success, but then Blizzard gets no say in how this game is, like, run or developed, so like the whole thing is just very shady, and I'm very torn because I kind of feel it a little bit both ways. Like, I would love to see Steam have some actual competition that's not the Origin platform, because the Origin platform is terrible. Like, it's really bad. It's really bad. So it's like anything that gets away from that, and I feel like Steam has a real monopoly. I read this whole article the other day, and I know Polygon is one of those websites that people are sort of hit or miss about, but like there was a whole article on Polygon about how, you know, people have always defended Steam and been very loyal to Steam, but in the grand scheme of corporations and conglomerates, like, Steam is just as guilty as every other company of being kind of a big, you know, and then they have no real competition, so they can kind of do whatever they want.
Right. I feel like, you know, you should always be like, you know, even if you don't have competition, you should be like always trying to improve or like analyze or, you know, not just being complacent.
Exactly. So I think it would be great if Steam had some real competition, and as somebody who's very loyal to the Blizzard brand, I love to see more games kind of lean to that end and have a real rivalry in the gaming world of, you know, where you can buy different games and stuff like that, as opposed to it just being like Steam or, you know, independent publishers that do stuff like Blizzard had the BattleNet app and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, yes.
I do think Blizzard was trying to address the issue of like, oh, like, is this part of the Blizzard family? Because all the Blizzard games on social media had like a little cute, you know, image to welcome Destiny to the Blizzard family. So like they're really trying to push the narrative that like, Destiny is part of the family now.
Okay, well, wait.
And
So I have thoughts on this. So to be fair,
okay.
do you know how many Blizzard employees came from 343 or Bungie? So
Right,
many.
I mean,
Oh my god.
also,
Like half of the
Blizzard
Overwatch
people are
team worked on
always
Halo.
about playing Destiny. Yeah, like Blizzard is always like, oh my god, you know, like Destiny, like, you know, we're gonna play this after work today, or like, oh, you know, like this loot system is really cool, like and you know, like the whole Curious Coins vendor Zurios is based. It's like a tribute to the Zur guy in Destiny who spawns every weekend that has, you know, new cool stuff to buy.
I in general think it's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I definitely can see how people would be concerned about it simultaneously, if that makes any sense. Like, I see both sides completely. But all that being said...
Do you think they'll do something at BlizzCon? Like, do you think...
Oh
like,
my god, I didn't think of that. Do you think Destiny will be at BlizzCon? Because the thing is, like, this is really game-changing for Destiny. Because, like, in my opinion, like... This is why it wasn't a Destiny expansion and why it's Destiny 2, because this is a huge branding thing for them. They know they're going to get new players, and they don't want people to feel like they're behind. So if it's a whole new title, it's, you know, putting everybody kind of on that ground floor. I did not consider that it could be at BlizzCon. And with Mike Morhaime being the one who's making the announcement, with all of the games being like, welcome to the Blizzard family, I don't think it's out of the question. Do you think there could be Destiny heroes and Heroes of the Storm?
Yeah, or like Overwatch loot boxes with Destiny. Like I can see this.
Whoa. Yep. My mind, Perk. My mind is blown. Anyways, I think it's a really big deal. I think it's a really big deal that they're integrating other games, and I'm very, very curious to see what other games will be integrated in the future, because, okay, so this is, and my viewers already know this. If you're not a viewer of my, like, stream, you probably don't, but I'm an enormous fan of the Skylanders franchise, and I know that, like, it's a children's game. I get that, but shamelessly, like, I own hundreds of the characters. Like, Spyro was my favorite game when I was a little kid, so it was kind of just a natural progression down this deep hole of addiction. And it just makes me wonder, like, how many other Activision games we might see getting tied into the Battle.net app. Because, like, Skylanders, for instance, has tons of World of Warcraft references in it. There was one day I was, like, tweeting out, like, different abilities. Like, the character that I use, like, you can make your own characters and choose all of their abilities. And I made this, like, she uses 2 guns. I can't think of the name of her off the top of my head, but she uses 2 guns. And you can pick an ultimate that's called Death Blossom, where she spins around in a circle and shoots her guns wildly, like Reaper. And they have lots of little, like, WoW names, and they're the exact same thing. And so there's a lot of overlapping of their franchises, and especially when you consider, like, so Overwatch just like 2 weeks ago was officially a $1 billion franchise. Like, Skylanders is another one of the $8 billion franchises, and I wonder, like, how many of those they're gonna try to, like, merge into, like, a super villain.
And, like, all the different Activision games, they cover different markets. So it's like Destiny is not competing or, like, cannibalizing an existing, like, Blizzard audience. Is like,
that was like, actually what I found surprising, though, because it kind of does. Like, I feel like people who play WoW would be interested in Destiny because of the MMO sort of feel about it. But then I feel like people who play Overwatch would be interested in Destiny because of the FPS aspect.
Right,
of it.
like, it's like, I guess, like, WoW is not, like, FPS-y. And, like, they handle the raids really differently. Like, there's no, like, gigantic group content in Destiny. Like, you know, the strikes or the raids are a smaller group of people.
There was an article today that I saw. I think it was on Kotaku. I can't really remember, but I saw an article that was saying how Destiny 2 is being branded as a casual MMO. Like, they're marketing it as like this is something that you play sometimes, not 24 hours a day. So I don't know if maybe that was the reason that Blizzard was like, oh, this is cool. This isn't going to be too interfere with what we do already. I don't know. I think it's great. I'm really excited to see, like, what's going to happen from here and, like, what other games Blizzard is going to, you know, I don't know. I'm just excited.
I wonder if the whole Battle.net app rebranding was, like, misdirection. Like, oh, like, you know, Blizzard games, and now it's like, oh, this Destiny leak, it can't be anything, and, you know.
That's funny.
Like,
I didn't even think of that. That could be a thing now that they're calling it Battle.net again. I wonder if they're actually going to, like, rebrand it back to Battle.net. That was an April Fool's joke, too. Like, go back to Battle.net, and then, like, the next press conference about Battle.net, they're calling it Battle.net.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool and weird, and I'm excited to see what happens from here.
Yeah.
This is going to be last call for any questions in chat for me or Perk, and we're going to move on to talk a little bit about some community stuff.
Yeah, so Do you want me to go on?
Yeah,
Or
you
do you
go.
wanna...
You go.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so a lot of websites use Wowhead for tooltips, and we try to help them out with some data requests now and then. And we just wanted to highlight, a few cool things that other sites are doing around the WoW internets. One is Warcraft logs. They are, the place where you go, where you check out all your raid parses and you learn why you died and how you can improve and how your DPS is compared to someone else, that has the same or worse gear. And they revamped their character profiles to combine a lot of the armory functionality with your raid rankings, as well as things that are now missing from the armory, which we complained about last
Yeah,
week.
I know.
So,
I thought that was funny that
yeah.
it was like the very next week someone's like, that's okay, we do it now.
Exactly. So you can see on one side you have all of your raid parses as well as your highest ranking. And then on the other side you have your gear setup, so people can see like if you're doing well based on your gear, if it could be better or worse. And they added the cool missing things like you can see all the armor artifact traits, your off-spec talents, which is something the Armory never showed, but because Warcraft Logs has a special program, they can like snapshot all of your talent setups from past fights. And the recent activity is back, so you can see the items looted as well as the achievements. And they also, the Armory, removed links from a lot of websites, including Wowhead, and Warcraft Logs has links to all the Wowhead pages for achievements and items in case you want to learn more about, a boss fight or where this cool item is from. You can all do that now on Warcraft Logs, and it's all localized because, Wowhead runs in many languages. So, you can check it out on any realm basically and go to the Wowhead tooltip in your language. So that's all really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then Petopia, who, we always mention, they're like, oh, Petopia found this cool hunter tame and, they shared it on Wowhead, thanks so much. And they added cool filters for matching mounts and pets and hunter tames. And if you want to learn more, you can easily go to the Wowhead page, to learn how to do the tame. They also link to Warcraft mounts and pets. And there's like so many good matching mount and pet screenshots in Wowhead that I think I think that audience on Wowhead would really appreciate these filters and try to make even more cute screenshots of everything matching. So
yeah.
I think that's super cute.
Yeah, I appreciate stuff like that. I like to do my hunter, like I'll have her mount match her pet, match her battle pet.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
Exactly.
And then I'll usually try to have a transmog that's like similar to, although she's a mess right now.
Yeah.
She just hit 110 and you know that life. Where you're getting new gear constantly and you're like, I can't keep up with the transmog. I'm sorry. My yak is tired. Yeah. Okay, so this I think is really cool too, and it's related to our giveaway today. Now, if you guys are familiar with Wowhead Premium, Wowhead Premium is the subscription service to Wowhead that allows you to customize your Today on the Broken Isles. You can track quests. You get to talk in a special color when you're in the comment section or on the forums. And it directly supports Wowhead, removing all ads from mobile or desktop as long as you're signed in. It is $1 a month or $9 a year. And now you can gift it to friends. So it's not just something that you can purchase. You can purchase like a subscription for one of your friends if you want to. And it's really cool. Oh, look at that. Check out your favorite streamers for giveaways. Does that mean you're giving me some more codes to give away?
Yeah, so we had Sass generate a bunch of codes, and, we gave our guide writers a few. And
they didn't give me any, guys. Let me put this out there. I got 0. I know whose perk's not favorite streamer. We discovered yesterday that our instructions for redeeming the code were inaccurate, so we put a freeze on giving keys out until we figured out how to solve it. Yeah, but yeah, you'll be getting codes. We wanted to we're just trying to reach out to lots of different people. So if you're watching and you have like a site or a podcast, reach out to me and we'll see what we can do. I know some class Discords did the giveaways this week using the Discord bot, but other people want to save them over the next few weeks. So, just keep checking them out and you might get a key, and we will make sure we give you lots of keys for, St. Jude. Thanks.
Or if you
you guys were flagging accounts for me. I really wasn't complaining. I was picking on you. But St. Jude has been going so well. It's like we're on track to go way over. Like last year we did 52,000 and we're on track right now to do I don't want to say a number because I don't want to jinx it, but right now we're at 36,000, but that's actually 38,000 because there was a reporting issue, so we're just waiting for all these donations to come flooding in. And there's still 2 whole weeks left. And
That's
last year
awesome.
we were at 38,000 like 2 days before the end of the event. So we're on track
Right.
to
That's
kill it.
really cool. I'm
Well,
really
not only
excited.
that, but like we've had a lot, like a
Yeah.
lot of big streamers have been so kind and so generous. Like tomorrow I'm streaming with Ezekiel the Third, Ezekiel 3. He's a huge Twitch streamer. Elohim is going to be streaming with me next week. He's another enormous Twitch streamer. So it's been amazing to see how many people in the community have come together for such a good cause. Look, I'm getting giddy talking about it. I get excited.
Aw.
So yeah,
We'll
I'm
definitely
really
give you
excited
more.
about it.
Yeah.
Um,
So do you want to do the merchandise first, or should we look for questions?
Let's do questions
or?
and we'll do merchandise last. Also, if you guys
Okay.
are curious as to why Perk and I seem a little more awkward than usual, usually I have like a camera so that she can see what's going on screen, so that she can see like when I'm talking and when she's talking, and currently it is green. I don't know why, but where my webcam is supposed to be.
Yeah, we're trying to fix one thing at a time.
Yeah, so I mean, we're working on it. I don't know. I'm in charge of technical things, so that's a terrible plan on Wowhead's part. I'm sure Panzer will figure it out eventually. It's been a year now. I'm working on it. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the questions that people sent in.
Yeah, so Lone Samurai 1 says, with the new rings being added, do you think we'll unlock a 3rd legendary slot, and do you think we'll ever get the 5 they mentioned at BlizzCon?
I think
don't.
we'll unlock a 3rd legendary slot. I just don't know if it'll be this patch.
Yeah, maybe like 7-3. Like I don't think with Tomb, because I don't think they'd open a raid and not, have anyone test it with the balance of 3 different legendaries, and that's a whole lot of tuning that has to take place. So
no, I didn't just spill coffee all over myself. Why would you think that?
See, I didn't see that because I had this green screen, so I'm just like, yeah, legendary.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever have 5. I think that was something that was said before they realized how ridiculously powerful legendaries were. But I do think we'll get a 3rd slot before the end of the expansion, but I don't think it'll be 7.25. I think that'll be a 7.3 thing. Yeah. Personally.
So Jar Dork from YouTube says, was Murky the Golden Murloc found, or did Blizzard give hints about it? No, all we know is that Muffinus in 7.2 tweeted in reply to someone that Squirky wasn't in the game yet. And a while ago, some 2016 BlizzCon promotional material, one of the images had a pile of plushies with a golden Murloc. So there was speculation that maybe the Murloc was going to be tied to some upcoming Blizzard promotion. But that's all we know.
I thought for sure that it was going to have to do with the Murloc mini holiday.
I thought it was to be related to the Traveler book because the original artwork had a Murloc character, and I'm like, oh, get the book and the plushie at the same time, but I guess it's not that.
We'll find out soon enough. It would be cool if it was an Overwatch promotion, once you get 3 golden weapons, you get the golden Murky.
That would be funny. I would like more Murlocs in Overwatch.
Perfect. What else we got?
Arc Venus X says, do you think that Blizzard is planning on a crossover system to play with in other countries? I don't think they're working on that right now. We don't really have anything data mining wise to prove that, and just they seem to be moving more towards splitting realms with how WoW tokens and BattleNet balance, all that stuff seems split between regions and realms. But I know I have friends that have moved to Europe that still want to play with their friends on US realms. They don't want to re-roll, so I think it would be cool if they made it more flexible, but not sure if they can do that with technical limitations.
Yeah, I agree with you. I haven't heard anything, and I don't see why that, as much as I'm sure the people who are affected by that, it sucks. I don't think that there would be a good validation for that to be a top priority.
Yeah. Aguila BDN from YouTube asked, any more updates on new transmog items other than the kinky hat? A few weeks ago we were talking about exactly. So a few weeks ago we were talking about these cage helms and a death metal guitar, which we think is from the Dark Moon Fair, but they've hidden the Dark Moon Fair on the PTR, so we can't test it. We know that there are Chromie transmog sets coming if you do the 8 Chromie challenges in 15 minutes. We thought Trial of Style had sets you could buy with tokens, but they've disabled testing for that as well, so we don't know if that's coming. And
I
you
think that's how
know,
you'll get those
7
goggles that were data mined, those cosmetic
yeah,
goggles.
yeah. In 725, we also know that, you know, the new raid is opening and you get all the cool recolors, but you can already get some recolors now of tier 20 via the, you know, PvP. What do you think, from Claire says, what do you think of the new quest with Khadgar, It Takes Forever? Yeah, I agree. Like, we both haven't done it yet. So I feel like doing 12 world quests is easier than, you know, finding chests with everyone else on the Broken Shore. But at least if you don't get it done this week, it's not going to like delay you a week doing the next quest. Like, if it takes you the whole week to do and like you finish it next Tuesday, I think you just have to wait a few hours to pick up the next part of the series. So it's not a huge time delay if you're slow on this.
Yeah.
When Ria asked, where did you get this cup? I love it. This is actually, it's like shipped, it's Beauty and the Beast. I got it at Disney.
Yeah.
So
you can get it on Amazon too for like $25.
Yep.
I know because that's where I bought mine.
Not sure who asked this, but I don't want the Blizzard app to become a Steam type portal. I don't mind Destiny. Do you want it to actually grow to more games? I mean, I think I'd be okay if they did it properly. You know, we were just talking about how like there's only Steam and Origin's platform is not that great. So, you know, I think we want Blizzard to be a very, you know, high quality, you know, worthy competitor to Steam versus, you know, something that's just, you know, a set of games for the sake of saying they have a program that has a set of games.
Well, Steam is also known for like a lot of indie games, and I don't see that ever being what the Blizzard Battle.net app would be.
Yeah, I see it's very hand-picked, exclusive. Like maybe they'd expand to just Activision partners, but they wouldn't just put, you know, everything.
And I don't think it would ever be like all Activision games either. I think it would definitely be limited to specific titles. But I still feel like it would be better if there were more competition in any situation.
Yeah.
Because as a consumer, you're going to have a better experience if businesses are competing with each other to make you have a better experience.
Yeah. So that's all I have with questions. Before you go into the Wowhead discount codes, our prize winner is, it's J2D1C88. So congrats on your 6 months of Wowhead Premium. And if anyone wants to, you know, give Wowhead Premium to friends, you can go to wowhead.com/premium, and there's a big red button being like, purchase premium for, you know, for gifting. So you can do that. And Sass also wants me, final giveaway thing, Wowhead's Discord, which is just discord.gg/wowhead. We have a special giveaway going on. We were given 1 year WoW game time giveaway, redeemable by US NA accounts. And you just have to go into Wowhead's giveaway channel in Discord and react with a little like happy party hat, you know, like the basically the red triangle icon to enter. And it's running for 72 hours. And if you have any questions, PM Sass. Don't enter in the WoW channel or the site channel, enter in the giveaway channel. And yeah, we like doing little giveaways, and we want to do more giveaways like this in the future.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we've been doing giveaways on our live Twitch now for 6 or 7 weeks, and it's been very popular.
Yep.
It's been very popular. So before we before we wrap up today's episode, of course, we still have our partnership with Jinx. You can get 20% off all Jinx products through May 31st by using code WOWHEAD at checkout at jinx.com. They have a ton of new merchandise for Overwatch, Hearthstone, World of Warcraft, and 20% off is a pretty hefty discount. It will definitely cover shipping if you're in the U.S. It might even cover shipping if you're out of the U.S. So if you're interested in any of that, now is the great time to do it. That code is good through May 31st. It is 20% off all Blizzard products, and you can use code WOWHEAD at checkout. That is jinx.com. We also have a discount code with the Blizzard Gear Shop. If you use code WOWHEADMAY at checkout, you will get 15% off any Warcraft product. Again, there was a bunch of new stuff that came out that was Overwatch related, but there's still just an absolute ton of stuff that you can get from the Blizzard Gear Shop that is WoW related. Of course, Perk's favorite is the Pepe. The new one is Traveler Pepe with his little backpack. So how many Pepes did you say you have in your household?
He has a little Pepe.
I have 4.
I'm up to 5, and then I have your little baby Pepe Puggle, and then Jay at the office has 2 of my extra Pepes. So we have
Okay,
a
you
big
have more
Pepe
than me. I
family.
have 4 Pepes and a Ganymede.
I have a Ganymede too. I have 2 Rowlets as well. I mean, he's
4
not
Pepes.
Blizzard, but I feel like Rowlet is very similar to Pepe.
He's so cute. He's so
I know. I sort of
dang
picture the 2
cute.
birds being like, Rowlet's like, oh, Pepe, like, it's so cool you have hats with your merchandise. And Pepe's like, wow, Rowlet, like, you have a whole lifestyle line of, like, bed sheets and, like, jewelry and shirts. And, like, the 2 birds are plotting how they can create more merchandise
Perfect.
for each. So.
That's amazing. Anyways, the Wowhead code for Blizzard Gear Shop is WowheadMay, and you get 15% off all Blizzard products. Thank you so much to Blizzard and to Jinx for providing Wowhead with codes to give our viewers. We really appreciate it. That's pretty much all we got for this week, guys. Kind of a slow news week, but we will be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel here at twitch.tv/Wowhead at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time. And we'll talk about WoW stuff. And then the next day, we'll upload it to YouTube, youtube.com/Wowhead, and it will also be embedded at wowhead.com. Thank you to everybody who subscribes to us here on Twitch. Enjoy all of our emotes. We will have more coming very soon. I'm just
we signed up for the new programs. You can sub at different amounts now.
Yeah, we'll have new emotes for those hopefully within the next week or so. But if you have any suggestions for that, feel free to let us know on Twitter or Discord. But thank you to everybody who watches us live, who watches us replay on YouTube, who hangs out with us here, who subscribes to us on Twitch, and of course a huge shout out to all of our Wowhead Premium subscribers. Once again, Wowhead Premium is a monthly subscription to Wowhead, which allows you to track quests, customize your Today in the Broken Isles, talk in a special color when you're on the forums or in the comments, and of course disables all of your ads on desktop or mobile as long as you are signed in. It is $1 a month or $9 a year, and now you can gift it to your friends. Thank you so much to everybody out there who subscribes to Wowhead Premium. We're gonna go. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful week, and we will see you next Friday. Goodbye, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.